So we are going to be all aboard the membership train. My name is Mary Sotomayor, and I am the membership coordinator for New York State PTA. And we're going to be covering this guide today. Um, a couple of rules. We are going to try and keep all of our questions towards the end, unless we pick on you and ask you some questions. Um, we're going to try to answer everything. So we're going to keep some time at the end to make sure that we talk. We also would love for you to interact. When we mention some items that we'd like to talk with you about, and keep all of your, again, pertinent questions to the end. Oh, someone said, not sure that you can change names while the presentation is up. Oh, okay, no worries. If for some reason I am not sure what region you're from when I call on you, I will make sure to ask. So I'd like you to meet our wonderful membership team. As I said, my name is Mary Sotomayor. I am the membership coordinator. We have Renee Daniels with us tonight, our membership engagement specialist. Go ahead and say hello, Renee.
Hello.
We also have our marketing specialist, Jennifer Tulo. We have Mike Keene, who's our male engagement specialist. We have Amani Dagim, who is our DO, or designated officer. Amani, you want to say a
Hi,
little? Oh,
hi, Mary. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I have to stay off camera for a few more minutes. So happy to be here. And this is some kick butt team that is holding your hands this year. And I'm so excited for all the great membership things that are going to happen in 22, 23. So I'll put my face on a little later, but enjoy the training. You got some great leadership here. Thank you.
thank you, Manny. Next up, we have Dana Welch, who's our membership manager, and Caitlin Daly, who is our communications and marketing staff. Dana and Caitlin, would you say hello to the group?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dana, and I'm not sure if Caitlin's going to be on tonight, Mary, but she is definitely working hard for us in the office.
Ah, she has a doppelganger. I thought I saw her on the chat.
Oh, she could be.
All right, so first up, we wanted to start with some membership tips and tricks. This is what you guys all would like in the beginning of the year, things to get you going. How many people have been thinking about membership so far this week? Any hands? Yes? All right. Well, I have some good news. This is the best time to think about membership and starting all the things that you could possibly do, because everybody wants to be involved in the beginning of the year. So, one of the things that we suggest is creating a PTA Facebook page if you don't already have one. If you do have one, you'll notice that that's the best way to get in communication with your parents. One of the best ways. You can create events. This is a place where you'll be able to publicize the events that you have going on. It'll also be a place where you can share flyers, your agenda ahead of time, and make sure that you can continue to post membership alerts, so that your group knows that if they haven't become members, that they can, and who in their family and community can become members. This is also an awesome time to reach out to all your former members using MemberHub messages. I will tell you a little later in our conversation, MemberHub, I'm addicted to MemberHub now. I'm not ashamed to say it. Um, I want to make sure, oh, Dana, thank you for that. So as I was saying, we reach out to former members using MemberHub messages. But one thing that I was remiss in doing in the beginning of this call, and I want to make sure that I do shout out, we have some RMCs on the call. Where are my RMCs that are on the call? Oh, awesome. I would love, so RMCs is your regional membership chair. And this is the person that you're going to be going to when you have specific questions pertinent to your region. They will be able to help you. It's an extra layer of help when it comes to membership. Are all of the people raising their hands RMCs? Yes. So I would love for you guys to turn on your camera if you could and say a little hello.
Hi, everybody. Tara Sovic Bandel, Central Hudson Region. I'm with Rockland and Orange and Sullivan Counties.
Hey, Tara.
I'll go next.
Hi.
Can I go next?
Sorry.
Nope. I'm Erin Murray. I am Mother Stocking Region and I'm with Golden Knights PTA.
Hey, Erin.
Hi, I'm Jessica Buck. I'm from Westchester East Putnam Region. How are you?
Hi, Jessica. How you doing today?
Good.
Are there any other region membership chairs that we missed today?
Yeah, I'm Joanna Jacino, Taconic Region.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, any others? All right, I think we got them all on this call. And if you didn't hear your region membership chair announce themselves, that's okay. They're probably working hard on some membership things or some things for your region, or they'll be joining us a little later today. So getting back to these membership tips and tricks.
Sorry, Mary, I accidentally muted you. And we do have one more joining us. Raquel is a region membership chair as well.
Hi, Raquel. Are you able to turn on your camera? I don't quite see you. Well, hello, Raquel. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to see you and say a little hello, but we're saying hello now. Am I off mute? I can't see myself while I'm sharing. Yeah, okay, good. All right. So in addition to using Member Hub for your messages, we also suggest creating online partnerships with neighborhood businesses. Now, we're going to be talking and getting into more details about that a little later, but this is going to be one of your most important things to do, aside from getting membership from your community. Most businesses do want to support the school because they know the majority of the business is coming from families. And we will be getting into that a little later. How many of you send out a newsletter? Do any of you send out a newsletter to your units? Okay, that's quite all right. Newsletters can be created on Member Hub. And this is something that we can show you in a little bit. We have a newsletter that we have as well. And newsletters would encourage people to join, to become members, to support your units. It's been proven that when you send at least 15 emails to someone in your region, the likelihood of them joining when they're specific to becoming a member increases by 76%. So Raquel said she attempted to say hello, but it didn't work. That's okay, Raquel. All right, so getting back to our membership tips and tricks. Optimizing your email campaign. All people nowadays are getting nonstop emails. So you want to make sure that nothing is abbreviated, right? So when you're talking PTA lingo, you want to make sure that at some point you spell certain things out, like Parent Teacher Association, because not everybody, believe it or not, is going to know what that is, especially if they're new. So a couple of things we'll be doing a deep dive into later. We're going to be showing you how to prioritize social media engagement, and we're going to get that help from our Renee Daniels. We're going to be talking about membership package items in Member Hub, which I am sure Dana is going to give us some awesome tips for that as well. And then we also have give your members the gift of PTA discount cards while growing your business membership, which is something that we had talked about earlier. So I wanted to start off our conversation talking about tips and tricks, but I did want to tell you a little something. So I have been on state, I want to say about 5 years now. And for the last 2 years, I had spent the majority of my attention on the state level. Well, I decided to go back into the unit level as a president. So when I talk to you guys and give you these tips and tricks, I'm doing it too. All the things that I'm talking to you about is something that I'm in the bullpen with you and taking the advice that we're given. So some of the things and places where you can contact us is either on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, on our leadership group page, and our diversity and inclusion page. If you haven't had a chance to click on these or haven't had a chance to become a member of these, please make sure to come on and click on these. These are all clickable. So I will show you what they are. Renee has shared with us that first time she Googled PTA, it was Physical Therapist Association. So that might be an issue. That might be a little bit of an issue. So let's take a look at some of these pages. I just want you to get familiar with them if you aren't already. This is what our leadership page looks like. Can everybody see my screen? Okay. This is a great aid because here you can ask your questions. All of us will try and chime in on the state level to answer whatever you have going on real time. Sometimes with emails we don't see, we're not able to get fast enough. And Facebook sometimes, believe it or not, is a little faster to get some answers about anything that you had questions about. Okay, I want to make sure I do this the right way. Are we back on Canva? Yes? I have to tell you, I miss seeing everybody in person. Zoom is one of those things that we are at their mercy sometimes. All right. So new membership items for your store. Dana, will you be able to help us out with some membership stuff for our stores?
Sure, I can talk to this. So it's funny because I spoke to someone on the phone today regarding this very thing. And her question was, well, if my standard membership is $8 and my additional family membership is the same $8, then I don't think I need to have a package, right? And I said, well, that's one way to think about it. But I said the majority of the units are finding that if they create a family pack of 2 or more members in one item, then it encourages the whole family to join. So not only, the adults, but also the students, and this was at a high school that I was speaking to, so especially the students at the high school level. So after I explained, she was like, wow, yeah, that makes sense. So even if you have membership dues that are the same for every type, you still can create a family pack. And the way you do that is a new membership item using the membership menu. You'll see the edit membership types page, and you'll just create a new membership item, and you can give it fun names and pictures. You can use your mascot, you can use your school colors, but it makes it really engaging for people to understand that not only are we looking for one member to join from a family, but we really are looking for multiple members of a family to join PTA and support the mission. So you can do that with your membership items. You can also bundle, or I say bundle, but that term is used differently in MemberHub, so I have to be careful how I use that term. But you can create a package that includes membership and a small donation. And one of our region directors, Dana Lamb, was telling us from the Western region that her unit's membership was $8. And she was surprised when she set it up with for $10, which included the membership plus a $2 donation. Everybody chose the $10 item. It was a round number, and they just, decided to choose that. So you just never know. And a lot of people do want to have the opportunity to donate. So you can leave your standard items. You don't want to take those away. but you can create a membership plus donation item for people to have the opportunity to do both at the same time. And this has worked really well for us at the state level for the Empire State PTSA membership. Most people who join that actually pick the one that's $20, which is $10 plus a $10 donation. So you would be surprised, I think, if you actually tried to implement this, and you'll see the results. You can also do membership plus a small gift. So maybe you've got a window cling or a sticker or some sort of item that's spirit wear for your PTA, and maybe you want to package that together and either discount the item or give it away free if they purchased it during this specific, maybe early membership time. That's a good way to get people to join early and to have them take advantage of a special offer that's, you know, only good for a limited time. So a couple things to remember: whatever you price your packages at, you need to make sure that they match your bylaws. So if you've got $8 membership and a $5 additional family, that would be a combination of 8 plus 5 is 13 for your family pack for 2 adults. And then also make sure that you don't take away the opportunity for a single person to join, you know, individually, in case they don't want to do the family pack. And then also just, you know, be creative when you name your packages. You'd be surprised how many people just love the fun names that you give them. You can add pictures and logos. And then if you do need to collect an address, or you want to have additional questions, maybe, are you interested in volunteering? Yes or no? And have that be a question that you add as an additional field on your online membership, and also when you add your manual membership. So that's really all I've got, but I definitely think it's a great thing, and a lot of units are seeing really good results with this. If you need help in creating those packages, I'd certainly be happy to help you, but we do have videos that I've created on the MemberHub help page on our website. If you just look under membership, you'll see a help with MemberHub page, and there's 8 videos. One of them does include how to set up these new membership items. All right, back to you, Mary.
Thank you, Dana. So, you know, Dana has been doing these trainings for a very long time, and I always thought it was amazing and awesome, and my membership chair will do it, right? So this year, I decided to dive in and do it as well. And I wanted to show you guys an example, if I may, of what a store could look like. By no means is my store the best store in the world, but it can give you an idea of what it could look like and how you can grow your membership just by being clear about the items that you have for sale. So to Dana's point, we tried to name our membership based on our mascot, which is an eagle. In addition to that, Dana's correct. I mean, our membership is $8 across the board, but we noticed that the Platinum Eagle and the Bronze Eagle are our highest selling membership packages. And that's because people don't want to necessarily go in one by one and put in membership. They just want it to be there for them, and they don't have to think about it. The other thing that's nice about your store is, I'm sure you all know, that you can create a QR code. How many of you have a QR code for your stores already? Okay. For those of you who are not aware, if you right click on any page and you click create code for this page, it'll automatically create a QR code for you here. It's not one of the fancy ones, but it's one that you can use. When you are having your membership table, you want to make sure that you have this available so that when you are selling items in membership, you can encourage them to purchase their membership on MemberHub. That way, there's less paperwork and more transactions happening. In addition to that, you can just print out this page, your store item pages, and it can include anything that you'd like. And then you can go ahead and have it printed ahead of time so that when people ask you, how much is your membership and where do I go, there's a QR code that'll take them straight to the store. And then there's a breakdown with a description and a title.
And Mary, just to go back to the family packages, what I failed to say was that when you do create that family 4-pack that you have, it collects the membership information for each of the members right in one transaction. So you don't have to worry about that. You set that up when you set up the item, you set it up for 4 members. It collects all the data that you need. And then, everything goes right to your member page. So I just wanted to make sure we said that just in case people were wondering.
Absolutely. If you see the page that I shared for the family of 4, you have your member 1, member 2, member 3, and member 4. And it just makes everything easy, like Dana said. Okay. Now we're going to go into a topic that I like, which is our membership benefits and business sponsors. So we had a little bit of a facelift. I'm not sure if you've seen these yet, but this is our customizable business sponsorship certificate. Does everybody see our new business sponsorship certificate? I'm not sure if you've viewed this in the past, but I will tell you this is a great marketing tool, not just for membership, but for your PTA as a whole. When you have a business that joins and they become a business member, they can proudly hang this in their storefront. You can give this to them in a frame, and this will be displayed for anybody that comes into the store. We've also included a link that will take you directly to the Canva location. And we also have guidelines that will help you with procedures for business sponsors. I will tell you something about Canva I read today. There's nothing like proving that you're a PTA member by going down a Canva rabbit hole. How many of you have been using Canva for everything now? I don't know what we did before Canva. It's just making things so much easier and so much clearer when we're trying to share our message. So with regards to business membership and business sponsors, one of the most creative things that we found is having a business discount card. So what some of our units have been doing is they've been talking to the businesses in their area and telling them that they want to offer this to all members that join. You would set up the fee that you'd like. For instance, let's say each of these businesses paid $20 to appear on this card. So this card would be free to the member, but you would charge the business whichever fee that you'd like, and they would offer discounts based on having this card. So you've created a situation where you want to become a member because you'd be able to take advantage of a better membership price, which is, in this instance, at Bay Creek, you could get $5 off a rental on Monday through Friday. Or with Buffalo Wild Wings, PTSA members would save $5 off a $25 purchase. I don't know about you. I always like to save. I always like to put some money back in our pocket. And this is just a neat way to include businesses in your area, create a mini fundraiser, and allow businesses to be a part of your PTA or PTSA. Before we continue with this, did anybody have any questions about this business membership? I will stop for a minute to answer anything if anything was unclear. Going once, going twice? Okay. I see hands up, and I just want to confirm. I see Daphne's hand up and Jessica's hand up. Did you have questions, or were your hands up from there previously? Okay. So Malia asked a great question. How much do businesses pay to sponsor usually? It all depends on your community and what you as a unit decide to charge in terms of sponsorship. I've seen $25, I've seen $50, I've seen $200. Now you might think 200 is a lot of money, but to a business, especially something like Buffalo Wild Wings, they already have a budget and they can allocate a certain amount to sponsoring schools in the community. When you put a card or you put these businesses on your website, you're putting their image, their likeness, and their business in front of a lot of people. And it'll prove fruitful just to have that kind of visibility in the community. I hope that answered your question. If you had another question, please put it in the chat. Fahada, she asked, does business sponsorship need to be listed in the bylaws like membership fees are? Dana, do you want to take that one?
Sure, I just answered it in the chat, but the bylaw or the procedures are where you're going to outline your sponsorship details. So you'll have those, and those are voted on, and they're kind of in addition to your bylaws. It's something that your executive committee would outline. And we did have sample guidelines to create those procedures listed here. It does download a document for you to open so that you can see kind of what other units may have done in the past and how you might be able to set up that outline. Does that help?
Okay. I'm going to open it up. I had tried to open it before. Do you guys see it? Are you able to see the business sponsorship award? If not, I will try again. Hold on 1 second. So in the training, you'd have received this. The link will take you here. I just want to show you what you'd be seeing.
So if you click on the procedures, what's underlined for the procedures, it'll open a document, and then you have to actually open the document, Mary. It'll download the document to your drive.
Okay. I'm having some challenges, so I will put that on the back burner for a little bit because I don't want to hold this up. And I will bring us back to where we were. Does everybody see my screen? Renee also mentioned business cannot be a member. When you enter in Member Hub, you have to list the owner's name, correct? The sponsor and the business member are two different things. Okay, someone said they can't see my screen. How about now?
I see your screen, Mary.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, as you know, there are a lot of ways that we can grow our membership. It can either be in person or virtually. In person is always the better way, right? And in best, but virtual has its advantages as well. So we're going to cover a couple of things here that I'm hoping can help you guys. And again, we'll stop for some questions at the end. So how many of you guys have a hospitality committee? This committee is going to be pretty important during your meetings. Hospitality committees make sure that when they do come to the meeting, people feel at home and they feel like, you know, they can relax, listen to the meeting and not worry, oh God, what am I going to eat for dinner? I'm so hungry. I wish I had something to drink. And they won't focus on the message at hand. The hospitality committee makes sure that flyers are at your event so people can pick up things and find out what it is that you're doing. There's a membership form if you don't have a specific membership table. And then there's a sign-in table because you want to make sure you know who came to your event. So Camilla said, that's me being VP of membership, so I am the hospitality. Awesome. I hope you're offering up some good coffee.
Yeah, we actually have our first PTA meeting this Thursday, and I have like this whole apple spice, pumpkin spice theme going on.
Can you send some over?
Absolutely.
That's awesome. I mean, we're not serving sushi, but we want to make sure that we have some stuff there so people feel welcome and they want to come back. Boohoo Yahoo Breakfast. This is one of my favorites. We did it when I was at the elementary school level. Um, you're either crying because this is your baby's first time of school, or you're super excited because they're going back to school. Um, this is really a way for you to connect with some new parents that are new to the school, or some old parents that are coming back that you haven't heard from in a while. In your guide, I've included a Pinterest pin that gives you some ideas and some tricks and stuff that you can do. This is different from back to school. This is kind of setting up a meetup off site, which means your library or maybe at the park because it's still nice. It's just giving the parents a chance to meet each other without soliciting anything necessarily, just them being able to see who you are and that you're parents too. When you're planning these social events, you want to make sure that you're making it convenient for the parent and for yourself, of course. So people like connection. People will stay with an organization that they feel like they're a part of. And what that means is a drop off. Maybe there's something where you get together and say, we're going to go together and we're going to go for a walk. Let's get to know each other. Or maybe you can meet for coffee. Or if you have a really exciting group, you can meet after hours and do something fun. But the point is, are social events for parents considered a give back? Erin, that's a great question. It depends. Give backs mean that it's sponsored completely by the PTA. These social events that I'm talking about are just ways to get together. Give backs is something, it's a little bit more elaborate than what we're discussing here. And I think there is a way to make it a give back, but in this instance, I'm just talking about finding ways to connect with parents. Assure PTA is a resource to parents, families as school starts in the fall. You would be surprised at how many people don't know what PTA does for the school. They have no idea, besides fundraising, where the money goes to, what it's doing, how it's helping your school. Us as PTAs, PTSAs, and SEPTAs, we need to make sure that we assure our parents that we're resources. We can help them find a way to advocate for all kids. And there's no better way to do that than connecting with families and parents and talking to them about what it is that your PTA does. Consider offering discounted events to PTA members. So one of the questions that we hear is, when I become a PTA member, I get the same thing that a non-PTA member gets. What's the advantage of being a PTA member? What we like to say is you should offer major advantages for being a PTA member. So the way I would structure it is, if you have a back to school event, you tell PTA members it's free for them to come on in. If you're a non-PTA member, you can become a PTA member at the door, or you can pay $10. Now, the amount that you're telling people that they need to pay at the door has to be more than membership. This way, they're thinking, it's cheaper for me to become a member and be able to come in. And at that point, you would have a membership table and make sure that you explain the benefits of being a PTA member and then welcome them on in. That's just one way of showing how PTA members get more, as opposed to families who haven't decided to come and join us yet. So virtual engagement. Virtual engagement is what we've all been ensnared in for the last couple of years. I think we're all getting a little used to it. We just have to be creative with it. With virtual engagements, you want to make sure that you're engaging your members online. What does that mean? You want to create sessions, perhaps. That is like an Ask Me Anything session. You can create a time block of 15 minutes every week consistently and just say, hey, I am the membership chair. I am the membership vice president. or I am the vice president. And we are spotlighting for 15 minutes any questions that you have on Facebook. You can create something called Tip Tuesdays, where you can send out tips, which would be a resource for families about education, about scholarships, about eating in terms of school. And if you're not sure what you should be sharing on Tip Tuesdays, New York State PTA is constantly sharing things on Facebook. And we have a bunch of creative things on the New York State PTA website that you can just copy and paste and make it your own and share it with your group. You can do a membership spotlight, which I think garners the most views that Facebook has on a lot of our PTA Facebook pages. What that means is Facebook has created an algorithm which allows you to recognize that there are some new members that joined your group and that you should spotlight them. What that means is it's just going to have their name and it's going to say, let's welcome to the group XYZ. These are just some highlights of things you can do with a member spotlight. In addition to that, invite a friend to your Facebook page day. You can dedicate one specific day to inviting people to your social networks so that you can make sure to grow your group. You can use online contests to help promote your membership. You want to make sure that you know your membership goal. How many of you here on this call know your membership goal number? I saw some hands going up fast. Very good. Very good. Share the number. Make sure people are a part of the quest to get on board with supporting all the new members that you can get. You want to include the PTA membership in all of the program information that you're sending out. That can be as easy as just having a QR code. Send membership information more than once and in different languages as needed. A lot of people don't speak English as their native tongue, and they feel immediately more comfortable when they see something that's actually in their language. Funny enough, New York State PTA can translate these PTA flyers that you create. It says 80 languages. Is that right, Dana?
That sounds about right. I'm not sure exactly, but a lot of languages, yes.
So
I'm told 80 languages is the latest count.
that's pretty impressive.
Yep.
So make sure to use those kinds of offers at your disposal. I'm seeing some messages here that are looking really good, and I want to make sure to address them. Renee had mentioned dances, fun night, trunk or treats. I'm assuming these are ways to offer free entry and charge non-members. Is that right, Renee?
Yep.
Awesome. And I also see you had mentioned giving perks. You want to get free snacks. You can give free water to members. Drink at fun nights. That's the way I read it. And I was like, I want to go to your fun night. I don't know what that is, but I want to find out. And then get a free craft at family craft night or be entered for a special raffle. These are all ways of making sure that people know this is your special perk for being a part of the PTA. Malia, we will share shortly the way that you can contact New York State PTA for translation services. And how do we find out our membership goal?
Mary, I put the email for translation in the chat.
Awesome.
And then are you going to tell them about the membership goal or will I?
I can. Hold on a second. If you are on Member Hub, switching between. Dana, do you have Member Hub open? I don't want to lose.
I don't.
Okay, that's all right. I will show everybody.
And since I'm recording on my local device, it won't let me minimize my screen either. So
That's okay. That's okay. I'm just opening it up so we have it open. So when you log on to Member Hub, you're going to have a whole bunch of items on your left-hand side. You'll see something that says compliance. Do you guys see that? It'll give you your updated officers. It'll give you your unit data, your 990 financials, and the ability to upload documents. In this location where it says unit data, if you scroll to the bottom, you will see something that says membership goal. Please let me know if you want me to do that again, if anybody had some challenges seeing that.
And Mary, while you have that screen open, look at the field right below that number, or two below that number of employees. While you have this open, I just want to bring this to everyone's attention. Make sure you have a number in that field. That's a field that's editable by the unit. And that is what we use to calculate the Super Teacher Staff Award. So if you don't have a number in there of how many employees your school has or your group of schools have, we're not able to calculate and give you that award. So I just wanted to bring that, since you had it up on the screen, bring it to your attention.
How'd I do? Did we put in the right info? I think we did good. Yes?
If I may add to what Dana just said, the easiest way to get the number of employees in the building is a quick email to the principal.
Yes, agreed. But sometimes, you know, the principal takes some time to get to you. You can also find it on your school website.
Like, or even an office staff, like the principal secretary, they may all be able to just give you that number because it's a number they know.
Absolutely. So I saw something in the chat that said, I have concerns about holding events that our non-members are required to pay to participate. How is this inclusive of our lower income families? So we take everything case by case basis, right? Of course. What I found is a lot of people that come to an event where we've said that it's $5 to get in, free if you're a member, most people will join because they want to be a part of it. Now, if there's someone who says, you know, for whatever reason they can't, you know, they can't afford, or they don't even need to say that. They show that there's some challenges with coming. I mean, you're right. This is about being inclusive, but we also want to make sure that we're giving people a benefit for being a PTA member. And if you are holding a PTA event, it can work to your advantage to have perks for being a member. But again, these are just suggestions. If at any time you feel uncomfortable or don't think this is right for your unit.
The option to offer a discount for members as opposed to, you know, not, you will have to allow everybody. You can't exclude any children. So that is true. You can't exclude any children or families from a PTA event, but you can offer incentives. In other words, the price is different, or you'll get something free, like Mary was saying. In addition, you'll get the snack, the drink, whatever. So people look for a deal always. It's kind of, you know, appealing to get something for free. But while doing that, you definitely cannot exclude any families of children.
Right. There's never, we would never suggest that you exclude anybody. It will always be for members. This is the amount that you'd have to pay, whether it's $1, $2. And for non-members, there would be a price point. For members, there would be. That the point is not to exclude them. It's more so to show them that there's value in being a member. Can you please repeat as to why we need the number of employees? Okay, so in the chat, someone had asked, can you please repeat why we need the number of employees? And one of the reasons that we use the number of employees is to calculate the Super Teacher and Staff Award. It's an award that we'll be touching about lightly in a minute. And I just want to make sure that we got all the questions before we move on. Does anyone include in their budget a certain amount of money to pay for membership fees for a few folks who can't afford it? Malia, we're going to take that question towards the end if that's okay. But I like where you're headed with that, because this is about supporting all folks.
We actually started that in my high school last year.
I didn't see who had said that.
Oh,
but
that's, I'm having a problem with my video. I'm Diane Sheridan. I'm the PTA president of Tappan Zee High School in Orangeburg, New York. But
Hi.
Hi, everyone. We did set aside funds yearly now for families in need in our community.
That's fantastic. I mean, honestly, as long as your general membership votes on it, I believe you can place something in there. But again, we will address that towards the end of our conversation. So,
Mary, we just had one other question about the membership goal.
okay.
They wanted to know if it was based on staff, students, or do we choose our own? The membership goals are actually ones that are calculated and set each year by Mary, who's our membership coordinator. And we do look at 3-year or more years of data in how your unit has done with membership. So those are very looked at and set very carefully. So if you have a concern with yours, or you'd like to increase your membership award or membership goal, we'd love to help you with that. But if you do have any concerns, you would send those to membership@nyspta.org.
Yes, Dana's right, spot on with that.
To clarify though, I want, the question was, what is it based on? It's based on your total membership the previous year. And then there's some sort of formula showing an increase off of last year.
Right. That's what we wanted to cover, Manny. So your membership goal is calculated based on 3 years worth of information about your unit, what happened, and we decide based on the information that we have whether your membership goal is going to be higher or a little bit lower, or is going to stay within reason. So we again are flexible and are willing to adjust where needed, especially if we're increasing your membership goal. And here are some of the toolkit samples that you can use to do just that. So based on our membership our membership information, who can join PTA is one of the most successful flyers that we have. We had done a survey and asked, and this is what the majority of our members had said. I think I just got out of my screen. Can you guys see my screen still?
No, we're seeing everyone.
How about now?
Now
Yes.
you're back.
Okay, so we have some neat ones as well. We have You Belong in PTA, PTA advocacy, SEPTA marketing, because our SEPTAs are just as important, male engagement, why PTA, PTA Anywhere, and PTA myths. These are at your disposal and ready for use at any time. You can share them on Facebook. You can import them and put them in an email, however you see fit. In addition to that, we have some membership pages and links for you. We have the awards page, which we're going to be going over awards shortly. We have the awesome success stories page. We have our memo, which is our membership monthly newsletter. We have our How to Virtual PTA page. We have Member Hub Help, National PTA. How many of you confuse National and New York State PTA for a while? I know I did. National is all of the states, and New York State, of course, is us. There's some Canva help, which is pretty neat, and TikTok tips. A lot of these TikTok videos are going viral. That is another hole I can go down for hours. There's so much fun stuff to see. Dana has provided the link on where you could find all this stuff as well in the chat. So here on membership, we look at the membership awards this way. All of our Savvy members become early bird members. And once you're an early bird member and savvy, you're usually on target, which puts you right in the best place to become a trailblazer. You can't be a trailblazer without some teachers and staff. And then we want to include our family engagement, right? So we don't want to forget our founders and how PTA came to be, and make sure that we acknowledge all of our students who rock. And in May, we want to make sure that we recognize everybody's efforts from the year before. In addition, we've added a new award, which is called the All-Star Award. For the All-Star, which is February and May, you earn 5 or more membership badges. And all of these awards will be announced on social media, those who have won, and you'll receive an email, of course. Just some housekeeping rules. Good standing requirements to qualify. You have to at least have 25 members with dues paid to state. Insured with AIM. Your bylaws cannot be expired. Your 990 has to be current. And your officers need to be updated for the current school year in Member Hub. But I'm pretty sure everybody's got that down, right? So here are our award focuses for the month. In September, our big push is the Early Bird Award. In addition to the Early Bird Award, we have our Savvy membership, which is September through January. But if you're an early bird, you'll definitely be savvy. And in your guide, it also includes what you'll be winning and what you can get for qualifying for these particular awards.
Yeah, Mary, I just wanted to mention that on the website under membership, you will find the awards page. And that page gives you all the criteria associated with each of these awards and what who will be entered into a drawing, those kinds of bonuses that are attached to these awards as well.
Thank you, Dana. In October, we have the On Target Award and the Trailblazer Award. We have our Super Teacher Staff Award. All of the details and qualifications are listed here as well. We also have region contests going on, October, November through December. And in February, we have our Membership Jubilee. In our Membership Jubilee, you'll see some fun stuff going on. So mark your calendars for February. It's when we celebrate PTA's history. We thank all of our members, current and past, for supporting everything that we do. We highlight the value of PTA, and we encourage new members to sign up this week. The things that we do is we incorporate prizes. We make sure to promote all the things, all the information that we share on social media and by email. And we encourage everyone to add one more membership.
Mary, just one more comment. I tried to type it in the chat, but what I typed doesn't make any sense. So I just wanted to say that we did change the order of our awards, a couple of our awards. So if you're used to having Super Teacher Staff in January, just pay attention to some of those awards change the month in which we're awarding them. So just take a peek at the awards page on the website so that you're familiarize yourself with maybe some of the changes this year. That's all.
And thank you, Dana. And we promise, there will be a lot of social media, a lot of emails about it. So in case you forget, you'll be able to find it in one of those vehicles. So we realize that everybody on this chat belongs to a different group or maybe belongs to one or more of these groups. So we wanted to kind of itemize some things with regards to elementary school, middle school, and high school, because I'm sure you would agree marketing to each of these schools can be the same and very different. So one of the tips that we will tell you for the majority of these schools is going to be attend your region and state trainings. I can't stress this enough. When you hear things like, this is the way we've always done it, this is the way we will continue to do it, it's normally someone who hasn't been trained. And once you have the information at your disposal, you're able to make better decisions for your school and your community. Create opportunities to meet parents to make a connection. That is something that we talked about early on with play groups, barbecues, Yahoo, Boohoo breakfast. Some of the people that I've created this with at the elementary school level are still some of my greatest mommy friends and daddy friends. Be sure to have a membership table at orientation that attracts parents to stop by and learn more. I cannot stress enough how much we are visual creatures, and people will come to something that looks good. So when you have your membership tables, make sure that you're highlighting why you should be a member, what advantages it is to be a part of the PTSA in your grade level, and how teachers fit in, how students fit in if you're a PTSA. Someone here asked, what is a Yahoo Boohoo breakfast? I will say very quickly, Yahoo Boohoo breakfast is Yahoo if you're happy your kid is going back to school. Boohoo is if you're really sad, usually when it's their first year and you just need to commiserate with parents that are going through the same thing. We try to hold that event, the first week or two of school. That way parents can get to know each other. It's just another way to kind of get together. If you can, schedule meet and greets by grade. If it's easier for you to meet people that are kindergartners, first grade, second, third, fourth, fifth, at least they'll know people on their grade level, and be able to make friends and lasting relationships with parents and their kids. Celebrate school and staff. Our teachers do so much for our kids. It's unreal. They are their therapist. They are their parental figure during the day. They teach our kids to do amazing things and grow. I believe firmly that we should be celebrating them when we get a chance. And it doesn't need to be elaborate. It can just be a thank you. But staff appreciation should be a part of your budget for the year. And I guarantee you it'll go a long way to them becoming members of your unit. Offer prizes to classes with the most membership. These are things that your membership chair can put together. You can talk with the staff, with your principal, or your PTA or PTSA liaison, who can tell you the things that you're allowed to do. And, just create different opportunities for people to want to become a member. Foster good relationship with principal and assistant. I can't stress enough this bullet. I know sometimes it can be hard because not all principals and their assistants are ideal. Sometimes, they're busy just like us, but this is their job. We are volunteers, and if we can foster a great relationship of trust, it'll go a long way and it'll make your life easy throughout the year. Start early, which is what we're doing today. You want to start talking about membership. You want to start talking about what it is your PTA or PTSA or SEPTA does. And bottom line, don't forget to ask. Middle school hot tips. Things are constantly getting updated, as we said, at your region level and at the state level. Bring the team with you. This is the time for them to get just as excited about what it is that PTA can do for your school as you do. How many of you have attended a state or region training? Oh, I don't see any hands. 3. Okay. So guys, one of the things I would suggest is to go to as many trainings as you can. It can only increase your knowledge on all the things that you can do for your school. You're going to want to make sure that you hold some membership drives, times where it's dedicated just towards membership. That can be summer, fall, winter, spring, however you want to designate it. As you saw earlier, there's some fun member hub items that you can put together based on your school's mascot. Or if you didn't want to do it based on your school's mascot, you can do it any way that you'd like. Just make it fun, make it interesting, and make it something that they want to look at. Be sure to have at least one person responsible for posting on unit social media pages. This is critical because as PTA members and leaders, we tend to take on a lot and we take it on ourselves. We need to be better at delegating. And one of the easiest things to delegate to someone who's pretty new is asking them to promote membership on social media pages. So when you have your membership committee, try and make sure that you have more than just yourself promoting membership. That you have other people that are involved in growing the membership committee with you, and you can delegate different things for each person to do surrounding growing your membership. So in our survey, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we sent a statewide survey out, and we found that while 50% of the communication is on social media, the other 50 is email. There are a lot of people that do not have social media at all, and we don't want to lose them. So don't forget to send out emails as well. And what's awesome about emails, especially in Member Hub, is they have all of the emails throughout the years. Send it to everybody. You never know. Someone might support just because they were a part of the PTA at some point and they still love the school and want to help. Reach out to the elementary school PTA president and plan to bridge the gap. Over the summer, a lot of parents that are in elementary school or in middle school are terrified of going to the next school. And if you can create a way for people to continue their PTA journey by bridging the gap between the graduation year, it will go a long way. So that's something that you might want to start planning towards the end of your school year. You want to make sure that you assign spirited PTA cheerleaders to be at a membership table. If you have a membership table and the person at your membership table is talking to the person next to them, not smiling, not trying to engage with people, this is not the right person for you. You need someone that's going to be okay with talking to families, talking to people, making sure that they're constantly cheerleading all the stuff that PTA does. It's very important because people will remember what they see and how you made them feel. And if when you are at your membership table, no one engaged with you, no one asked you anything, and you didn't even know what the PTA did, when we ask for membership in the future, they're going to remember, I saw them and they never said anything to me. They didn't even say hi. So you want to make sure that whoever's at that membership table, you're putting your best foot forward. Have QR codes displayed with your membership links everywhere. Just make sure that it's accessible, something that they can do right at that moment, because once they're excited and you can capture someone in terms of explaining to them what your membership is about, they're super excited, they want to help, they want to be involved, have a QR code available so they can just click on it, become a member, and see all the things that your school has to offer, your PTA has to offer. And again, you want to forge relationships with the principal, and don't forget to ask. So Erin wrote in the chat, it says, I asked everyone if they were a member yet. Erin, I'd love to hear that story at the end of our presentation. I want to hear how it is that you formulated that question and how it went over, okay? So we also have high school hot tips. Attend your region and state trainings. That's what we're always going to be indicating that you do. And bring your high school student with you. My daughter comes with me to these meetings. She says, it's my turn. I want to come with you. And you'll be surprised. Some of your kids have been watching you for a long time if you're at the high school level, and they want to see what it's about. They'd like to come to these meetings and maybe just be a part of the planning piece of it. Make students a crucial part of your membership team. It's not about the adults anymore. It's about the adults and the kids bridging communication to explain that they get to make decisions about their PTSA as well. Market scholarship opportunities. Make sure that they understand when they're involved, they have the potential to get a scholarship through PTA. High school students need PTA support as well. I'm going to say it again. High school students need PTA support as well. And sometimes we think it's just the elementary school or just the middle school. They need it too. They need to understand leadership skills and other things that membership can show them at this age. And we can provide that to them. Involve students in creating fun new membership items for the store. They might have ideas about the way they want this membership store to look as well. And they can tell you, that doesn't look good, I don't like it, people won't like that, or people will really love that, let's put that on. Plan an incoming class events per grade. When you're part of a PTSA, it's not just about the seniors, it's about every grade level and all the kids in that school. Again, you want to assign some spirited PTA cheerleaders to your group. You want to make sure that you have speakers at each of your meetings to encourage attendance and to make sure that you're making them members if they're not. You might want to have a parent event that's just with alumni that talk about college. You want to make sure that the meetings that they're coming to are insightful and informative and you're a resource. And again, being a resource encourages becoming a member. You want to plan joint parent and student events. You want to remind the school administration and the staff that they want to make sure that they want to become members as well. And again, you want to plan early. You want to make sure to ask your students for help. Make sure that you're friendly with your principal and don't forget to ask. So some additional opportunities. We have our PTA value in their school building. Every school is different. You can showcase PTA programs and services that that your school makes available in your community. You want to make sure that your branding is very clear. Your PTA logo should be on everything, all the communications that you are having with your potential members or members. You want to place posters wherever you can. And last but not least, Amani had put up our link here for the membership toolkit. You want to use the resources available from New York State PTA. New York State PTA is here to offer you as many resources to make your membership year as easy as possible. A lot of the things that we offer are customizable, not all, but most, and it allows you to make it custom to your school. As we spoke about before, we have our community support where you're creating member benefits, where local businesses can help, like the card that we indicated earlier, where they can become sponsors, and that can be a nice little fundraiser early on. You want to make sure that your PTA is present at community events. That means board meetings. That means Chamber of Commerce. You want them to make sure that you are a member of the community and not just in a little PTA bubble. Alumni support. You want to maintain and solicit parents who have moved on to another school. So as we said earlier, you want to bridge that gap between elementary to middle school to high school. But before we end, I wanted to hand this over to Renee for a little bit. I would love Renee to talk to us a little bit about our Facebook engagement and things that people can be doing to make things a little easier. Renee?
Hi, everybody. My name is Renee Daniels. I'm the Membership Engagement Specialist for New York State PTA. So Facebook, they've got a lovely algorithm. It's kind of hard to figure out. But there are some things that you can do to help your PTA's Facebook page. Maybe get a little boost in traffic. Things like really simple things. When you do a Facebook post, Make sure you post some kind of photo or a video in your post. Just don't put in text only. The algorithm kind of picks up on things like that because photos and videos are more engaging. So they'll automatically give your post a little boost. Another thing that what you can do is when you're making these posts, make sure you go underneath your own personal profile as well and love or do the hug emoji. Anything other than just liking a post will also aid you in the Facebook algorithm war. You can also comment as yourself. I know it's a little weird at first when you make the post yourself and then it's like you're going and talking to yourself by posting as yourself, but it does help get your Facebook page and your information into the news feeds of your friends. And quite often, most of our friends, our children's parents that our kids are friends with in school. You can also have other officers, your president, secretary, treasurer, not just your Facebook page organizer. You can have them come in and comment as well. And like I said, liking a post is fine, but giving a love, the little heart emoji or the little care emoji, I think is what it is, a reaction, sorry, they're reactions. Those will definitely help your boost in with the algorithm as well. Did I miss anything?
You didn't. That's awesome, Renee. Thank you so much. So before we go into our Q&A, I just wanted to show you an example of some of the things you could put on your membership table. So when you're inviting your parents to meetings, you want to make sure that you tell them what's going to happen at this meeting. Everybody's time is precious, right? So if you created something that told people what the dates are, what the time is, where it would be located, and what would be offered, it goes a long way. And you'll notice that there's a QR code here as well. You want to make sure that you're promoting your spiritware if you have it. But last but not least, you want to make sure that you're always indicating what it is your PTA, PTSA, or SEPTA does, where did the dollars go, and where they can communicate with you the most. So with that being said, we truly do appreciate all the time that you took tonight to train with us about membership, and we want to hear the questions that you have. So the way we will do it is we will look at the chat, and if you have questions, we will try to shout out as many as we can so we can help you in real time. So Malia asked, do you have any suggestions for how to keep in touch with families who don't use email or Facebook and only text? Our Spanish-speaking immigrant families. Malia, that's a great question. I'll let all of us talk a little to this. My suggestion to you would be to make sure that you get your flyers or communications approved through your school and have them printed and hand them out in the backpacks. It's going to be the fastest way for you to get information to your parents. And when you say Spanish-speaking immigrant families, that just means translating it and making sure that the information is available in their language of choice. Did I miss anything, Manny, Renee, or Dana?
May I suggest, I believe Member Hub has texting service built in. Dana, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, unfortunately, with that texting service, you do have to have everyone have in their profile have designated what their carrier is, their phone carrier, and that's not information that we collect at any time during membership. So the texting feature really doesn't work, but if you did have knowledge of who those people were that needed to receive those texts, you certainly could ask them if they had a way to get in touch on a computer, maybe at the library or what have you, where they could go in and update their profile to include that information, then you could have a text sent to them and be able to and you could even designate those people in by creating a contact category so that you would know and be able to filter on those people to send specific text messages in their language through MemberHub. So that
And I'm going to, if you want another provider that can be easy to send SMS messaging or text messaging, I've been utilizing another platform just for that, just to put out a phone message or a text message. I'm going to drop it in the chat for you.
I'd also like to add that in our school, we also utilized our ESL teacher in helping us with communicating with the families. Don't forget, while lots of parents and community members come to us as a resource, we also have resources available to us that we should take advantage of. And that's just one way that you can work with the school and they with you.
That's fantastic, guys. Thank you. Jana, I believe her name is. Do you have a membership goal thermometer that we can use to show our membership progress? Why, yes, we do. We have something that's customizable just to you. It's PowerPoint, right, Dana?
actually we have both the PowerPoint and I think maybe only the Canva done at this point, but we have the thermometer available on the toolkit page. Pretty sure the link is there. If not, we'll get it there by tomorrow. So you'll have both a Canva template that you can edit with a free Canva account, and we'll also get the PowerPoint, which you can edit with Google Slides, which is also free if you have a Google account, or anyone can set up a free Gmail account. So there'll be two ways to do that. And of course, we're featuring Memby and our membership train. So they're really fun to see out on social media. I've already seen a few from our regions. So very exciting.
So this is the page where you can find on New York State PTA.org that Amani had put in the chat. Once you click here, I'll go back to the home page. You can go on to the membership toolkit here, and you'll have all this nifty, awesome stuff to choose from. It was just redesigned, and it's completely clear and very easy to find all the things that you're looking for. There's a tab specifically to customizable documents, everything that you can think of.
Yeah, it does look like we need to add that thermometer back in, so I'll make sure that gets done tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. Is it free for PTA? Star, can you elaborate a little bit? You can unmute your mic. Star?
She was referring to the app that Amani had mentioned.
Oh, I got you.
That's not free, and it's not affiliated with PTA. I just have used it for other volunteer work that I do. It really is easy to use. It is not an expensive app, but no, it's not free.
Are there any additional questions? Please place them in the chat. Can the templates be translated or only the forms? I believe anything that you request to be translated can be translated. Any PTA form or document. Is that what you were asking, Joanna? You can unmute if you'd like.
It was mainly for, you see the PTA verbs, like the that says unite for your child, things like that. Because I know there's English and Spanish. So I was wondering if we can translate it to other languages.
Yeah, so any of those, if you want to just download the Word doc or the PDF and send those to that translation at nyspta.org, we can translate that document for you.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
one of the things we talked about slightly on training is our memo, which is our membership monthly newsletter. On New York State PTA.org, you can find the archive to this and all of the issues that we have done in the past here. It'll give you an up-to-date on what you should be focusing on, you know, what we're highlighting for the month and things of that nature.
And looks like I need to get last month's edition up there. You're pointing out all the things that I'm behind on, Miss Mary. But we'll take care of it for you. No worries. By the end of the week, we'll be up to date.
Okay. But also make sure to check your emails, because these are not things that, you know, happen secretly. We make sure to communicate with everybody so that they can get the information in hand and in real time. Does anybody else have any other questions before we call it a night? Any other tips for showing PTA value for folks too busy to attend events, meetings, volunteer, especially folks with multiple jobs? Malia, this is a great question. I am one of those people that thought I was too busy to do any of this stuff. People make time for what they feel is valuable. And one of the ways that I feel is best to show value is to give something. When I say give something, we're talking about if you can attend a meeting, maybe one of the meetings you make available on Zoom. That way the person that can't come in person can actually view it, you know, later, or view it in real time to not feel like they're out of the loop. And I think communication is key. When you show something to someone once, they might forget it. Twice, they may remember it. But for every time after that third time that you keep reiterating the same message, it starts to flow and become common knowledge. So just getting that PTA message out there in different ways, which means not just through yourself, but maybe through communications, the way that the principal communicates with all the parents. Does everybody have a vehicle where their principals communicate by email or by text or by some form of communication to their parents? That's probably the best way to give people additional resources and information about what the PTA can do and what it does for people all the time. And let's also, go ahead.
I was to say, I just wanted to tag on to that too. And showing PTA value is not limited to just what programs and services your PTA provides to your local school. I mean, we are an advocacy association, so a membership is what supports that advocacy for all children. So I think providing some material about what being a member really means and what that does at not only the local level, but the state level and the national level is really important too. And the Why PTA flyers and You Belong in PTA does a real good job of kind of showcasing what their membership means to, even if you can't volunteer, even if you can never attend a meeting, you still want to be a member. You know, it's not just about, you know, not everyone's going to be able to volunteer. Yes, we need volunteers, absolutely, but not everyone is going to be able to do that. But they need to know that their voice is just as important, whether they volunteer or not. So I think we want to make sure people are like not discounting PTA because they don't have time to volunteer, you know. So those kinds of messaging needs to be out there as well. Sorry, I get on a soapbox and I
no, but this is true. I mean, people, I think all of us need to be clear on our messaging, just understanding what value your PTA brings to the table. And, you know, Dana very eloquently highlighted all the reasons that you want to make sure that you are promoting PTA whenever you get a chance and making sure that your message is very clear. Renee said, we used to give volunteers a free t-shirt for volunteering. We also had a volunteer appreciation event. That is awesome. And it's true. People want to be recognized, especially when they're doing things that they're not getting paid for. I mean, can we be real? Like we do a lot as PTA members, and when you're given a free t-shirt, a free water bottle, or you know, an impromptu event that kind of highlights and showcases what your members and volunteers are doing, it really does feel good. On that note, that's one of the ways that you can get more people, more parents to volunteer. What I think helps, and you guys can all ask, I'm add on to this. When you involve your members, your potential members on the decision-making process, that's how you get more members to volunteer. So if you have a Facebook page, create polls, send out polls that will help you understand what it is that your parents are looking for. If you said something to the effect of, hey, if we were to have a fun run, what would you like the theme to be? Usually people will follow what it is that they put their input on. And that's the way that I believe you can get more volunteers. Amani, Renee, or Dana, do you have any other suggestions for getting more parents to volunteer?
Not so much suggestions, but along with what you said, Mary, and what Dana described, how people are afraid to join for the fear of being asked to do things. That seems to be a common issue that prohibits some people from joining, unfortunately. And New York State PTA has put together a lot of material to dispel some of these myths, we call them. So feel free to visit the New York State PTA Leaders Facebook page. We've been putting some of those there, some of them on the regular Facebook page for New York State PTA. Feel free to share them to your unit page, because somebody's going to come across it and say, oh, okay, it doesn't mean that they're going to, pull me by the hair to do things that I don't have time to do. Obviously, we need everyone to volunteer. We need everybody's hands, but we're not forcing anyone to do so.
Amanda, you're not pulling people by the hair to force them to do stuff? Are you? No, none of us do that. And you know what? I think one of our past fearless leaders, Lori Zaman, said something that stayed with me forever. If it's not fun, why do it?
So
you gotta
true.
have fun. These are things that we're doing in our spare time. These are parents in your community. This doesn't make you the elite class. This is making your community and where you live better, making your neighborhood a place where people want to move to. And that means, having a good time, enjoying the families that you're around and the people that you're with. Becoming a member opens up a world to your kids that you might not be aware of until you're in it. And the more people that are available to do these things, the more things we can make available. Zoe wrote, you can also advertise student volunteer opportunities. Absolutely. Students are always looking for that community service hour. So get them involved too. Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, I was just going to say too, as you were talking, I thought of something else. And I think getting people to want to volunteer, they also need to see themselves represented in your board structure. So having a diverse, inclusive board that represents the communities that you're serving goes a long way to help people want to be involved. They feel like they're being included, that their voice matters. So I think we need to do a lot more of that type of diversity work so that we are representing the communities where we live. So just something to think about.
And I love what you brought up, Dana, because we talked about that a lot in our diversity, equity, and inclusion committee, and that team is doing great work. Part of it is we're all guilty of identifying someone who is a native speaker of another language, whether it's Spanish or Creole or any, Arabic or any other language. And we right away focus on asking them to do translations. And that is not really utilizing people's skills and hobbies and what they're good at doing. We're kind of pigeonholing them into that translation thing. So we all are guilty of doing that. and it doesn't really encourage the participation of people, you know, from other cultures and other backgrounds, because we're not really looking at the whole person. We're just looking at that part of them that they speak a second language. And I'm guilty of that, but I've learned through PTA work to really look at the whole person. That person brings a lot more to the table than just the second language they speak.
Agreed, Amani. I was guilty of that early on as well. You know, we had asked one of our volunteers to please, please, please translate something, and she had thought that the reason we wanted her on the PTA was for her event planning skills. And we lost out on that because we didn't realize that that's not all she could do. But that was early on. We learned, we went to training, and we learned all the things that we could do and how to make things better. Dana, question, how are we on time?
We're right at an hour and a half at this point. So I think Renee has her hand up and possibly Lisa, unless that's just a leftover hand. And I think that's it for questions so far.
Okay. Renee?
I just wanted to add one thing, going back to communication and to address getting volunteers. Communicate and be specific with what you need them to do. And I'll give an example. Put out a notice, you need help at the book fair. And that's all you say. My husband's not going to volunteer for that because he needs to know what he's signing up for. Me, I'll show up to anything. My husband, he needs to know. He needs to plan. You know, is he going to use his muscles? Is he going to be moving books around, helping set up, take things down, build something? He's all in it. But if he has to operate a cash register machine, you know, maybe he's a little bit intimidated by handling the money, dealing with really, really small children. My husband would avoid. He would much rather give him a drill, give him a hammer. He's your guy. So be specific in what you need. And also, there's a thing called micro volunteering. When you get a chance later on tonight, Google that. That's all I have.
Yeah, you get the micro and then it makes macro, right? Do we have another hand up? Okay. Are there any additional questions before we hop on? Anything membership related? Anything that you feel you need a little clarity on? Anything that we can help with before we hop off the call?
I just wanted to say, Mary, before we go, or before a lot of people drop off, that if you do not find a resource that you need in the toolkit, please don't hesitate to ask. I mean, send one of us an email, anyone on the membership team. We would be happy to create something that maybe you have an idea and you don't see it represented in the toolkit. We'd be happy to help. I mean, that's what we're here for. So please don't hesitate to reach out and we will help you the best way we can.
And if I may add, you have a lot of resources at your fingertips. So aside from the membership team, which most of the team is on this call, and we've dropped the contact for Mary, membership at nyspta.org, but also Dana in the office is a great resource for you as well. Caitlin on graphics and Canva issues if you want to use any of these graphics, because they're awesome and really easy to customize for yourself. But also if you're looking at a bylaws amendment or change because you want to change your membership dues, you can reach the New York State PTA, you know, not just the New York State, but on your region, you have a bylaws coordinator or a bylaws a chair as well. It could be one of your associate directors in the region or a dedicated bylaws chairperson. So utilize your region resources as well as your state resources, because it's all created in order to make your job easier and be helpful to you. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you.
And please note, anybody that has tried to email me or tried to get in contact with me, if I don't have the answer, I know where to get it. All right. I think we are coming up on that magical time where we're going to wrap up. Unless there are any other questions, We really do appreciate you spending the time tonight with us to train a little bit. We will be providing more information along the way, and anything we miss, please let us know. As Amani and Dana have said, just pass it along and we'll make sure to get it to you. And make sure to say hello to your region membership chairs.